There's a lot of people who go into this trying to learn about health and then start to integrate information from different practitioners. I don't recommend that you do that because that usually messes up how my program works. Is there such thing as water poisoning, like drinking too much water? Oh, definitely there is. But normally it's not something that you could do without your body telling you to stop. So if somebody has too much water at once, first of all, you're not going to feel good. You can get really dizzy, normally because you've now suddenly dropped your sodium concentration in your blood. So you will feel kind of queasy, dizzy, and usually you will have a complete revulsion to the idea of drinking water. Like if you look at water, your belly's like, no. So most people will never actually do that because there will be just a physical response to it. For most people with normal kidneys, they can handle 96 ounces of water just fine. For people who have issues where they can't have as much water, I like to work with them to figure out the right dosage. So either with kidney problems or with heart failure, with people with chronically low sodium levels, they may have to adjust the water intake and not do the full hyper-nourishment for the water. Or we also have to adjust sodium. There's a lot of people who go into this trying to learn about health and then start to integrate information from different practitioners. I don't recommend that you do that because that usually messes up how my program works. So for example, people will read that sodium is bad for you. And then they'll decide to do hyper-nourishment and start drinking a gallon of water a day with no sodium intake. And suddenly their sodium levels tank and they're just like throwing up or something. Bad, all right? If you're drinking a gallon of water a day, you actually need a little bit of sodium in your diet because otherwise you're just going to dump water, right? Because you realize it's your kidney's job to figure out there's a certain concentration of sodium that you're supposed to have in your blood. And your kidney's job is to figure that out and to get rid of extra water if the sodium level's too low, bring in extra water if the sodium level's too high, right? So if you're not having any salt at all and you add in more water than you've ever had before, your kidneys are going to go, oh, this is too much. The sodium's too low. It's just going to dump it out. And now you're going to have loose stool. You're going to be peeing all the time and not even absorbing it. So a little bit of sodium in your diet is usually a good thing unless there's a reason that your doctor said you absolutely can't. And this is even for people with like high blood pressure and stuff who've been told that they shouldn't have sodium. I found for most people, it's not the sodium, it's the fact that they're dehydrated, but that's a whole nother story. But yes, it is physiologically possible to overdo water, but most people never will because you can definitely feel it if that's happening.